Now retired Israeli, well, I should say reservist Israeli Lieutenant Colonel Jonathan Conricus. He's also a former spokesperson for the IDF. Good to have you here. Lots going on.
Yeah.
First, can you describe the intention of these Israeli strikes on Houthi positions in Yemen?
I think that what Israel wants to deliver is a clear and bright message. If you fire missiles, drones, or rockets at Israel, this is the price that you're going to pay. The first message was a few months ago, 2 months ago, the port of Hodeidah. Obviously it wasn't understood, and the Houthis and their Iranian masters continue. And now Israel sent, I think, a larger, more powerful, more planes, more ordnance being dropped. The message, kind of the gist of the message being the same, that if you attack Israel, there are consequences for it.
The U.S. has been, of course, striking Houthi positions as well as taking down Houthi drones and missiles directed at shipping in the Red Sea, as well as those directed towards Israel.
Yep.
Is it your view, is it Israel's view, that the U.S. has not sufficiently mitigated the threat from Houthi missiles?
I think that CENTCOM have done a tremendous work in taking care of incoming missiles. U.S. Navy has done tremendous work, I think life-saving work in shooting down incoming rockets, missiles and drones. First of all, keeping themselves safe and also helping in defending Israel, which I think is tremendous. And, you know, that's a decision that the U.S. has to make. I think maybe the Houthis perhaps are interpreting, you know, the gap between what has been said and declared and what eventually has been done as something that indicates what the real intentions of America are. And when you compare it to what Israel has done, which is to, we've said pretty little, but actually struck them twice, then perhaps there's a certain gap there that, from a Houthi perspective, I think should be narrowed.
Are you communicating that Israel intends to wipe out the Houthis in Yemen at this point?
No, I don't think that Israel has neither the intention nor the capability at this stage. Unlike what we're seeing with Hezbollah, where Israel for the last 15, 20 years has been collecting, analyzing, and defining intelligence, and now have a very diverse target bank available. That is not the situation with the Houthis. Up until a year ago, they were hardly on the threat map. Now they are, because they are threatening Israel. And Israel is adapting to that and striking targets that are easier to get now. The next stage, I think, will be weapon storage facilities, rocket launchers, the places where they launch their UAVs and rockets from.
Okay, let's talk about next steps then inside Lebanon. We have observed, the U.S. side as well has observed some buildup of Israeli forces on the northern Israeli border. Is a ground incursion the next likely step by Israel inside Lebanon?
I think so. Given the current situation on the ground, given the apparent disarray that the Hezbollah leadership is in, and given the very urgent and real need for Israeli civilians to be able to go back to their homes, and for those who have missed out the last year of events, 70,000 Israelis have been displaced all over Israel, and they cannot return to their homes. And what Israel needs to do is to create the conditions for that to happen. It either happens through a diplomatic deal, if Hezbollah will agree to one and say, okay, we implement 1701, we go back, we won't be south of the Litani, problem solved. And if that doesn't happen, then the other option would be, I think, it would be necessary for the IDF to go in and clear certain areas at a tactical distance from where the border is, so that Israeli communities can be safe.
How soon?
I don't think that there's any good reason to wait. When your enemy is disorganized, when he's down, that is the time that you strike, that is the time that you take advantage. So my guess would be that this is not something that we will have to wait months for. I'm not currently in the decision-making process, so I wouldn't know. But based on military logic and based on what I see Hezbollah doing and their current capabilities, I would assess that we will see this soon.
We'll be watching closely. Lieutenant Colonel Jonathan Conricus, thanks so much as always. Please do stay with us. We'll be right back with more.